Good morning. It is April 10th at the Greenville Montessori School, and we are going to graft persimmon trees. We're going to do that for a couple of reasons. We're trying to take some of the male trees and put female tissue on them. Basically make female trees grow fruit. You know, the male trees don't grow fruit, so we're going to try to switch them up. So it's Cass here and Pearl, and we're going to do this for Miss Koch's class. Okay, so the reason that we're doing this is that this tree is a male, and you can see that it's a male if you come in close. See all these little tiny flowers here? These are all male flowers. Male flowers are fine because they pollinate the female flowers, and you certainly do need some male trees. But much like so many other things, you just don't need that many males, and what we want is fruit. So what we're going to try to do with this tree is graft female parts onto some of these branches and see if they take. Okay, so this again is our male persimmon. We've cut a couple of branches off of it, low branches that make it hard to mow around the tree, so that's just basically maintenance. And this tree will get 60 feet tall, so we're trying to maintain this main trunk. Low branches are okay too, but we're going to use some of these low branches to graft onto, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this off right here. Throw that with the other branches. I'm going to cut this branch right here. Zoom in close, Pearl, you can see the place where we're actually going to graft onto right there. Okay. We have all of our things here. Let's see what we got. We got gloves. Those are for using this right here, that tree wound sealer. These are all of our grafts, and any of you kids that were involved in cutting these scions, you'll recognize these. We've got a little knife, and I'm going to take this and clean this edge up just a little bit. So we got a nice clean edge to work with. That saw, it makes a rough edge, and we don't want that. This is my special grafting knife. Came directly from our home kitchen. Same thing here. Oh, look, we've peeled back. Can you zoom in on that, Pearl? Right there. Do you see the bark has peeled back right in there? That is actually the part that we want. That's the cambium. You see how it's split open? That's because of the tree saw. And that's what we want. That's the growing part of the tree, the layer there that's growing. And that's the part that will accept the other. Okay, so look close at these little scions here. These actually are off of our tree at home, and it is an Asian variety. I think it's called Kaki. Jiro is the name of it. Okay, so obviously dead tissue there. We're not going to graft that. So let's come back until we get some better looking tissue. I see green. That's good. Let's kind of keep going here. That's looking better there. Okay, and we don't want to have a full long piece like that. So let's cut right there. Still looking like viable tissue here, so that's good. Okay, so that's one graft. All right, so let's take and cut that. We're gonna make little slices, like. All right, now I don't know if you can see it, but there's the bark layer, and that's that cambium that we want. We want that tissue, that little edge right there, to connect with the edge on the tree. So we're gonna, yeah, go back and study your anatomy, your tree anatomy there, and you'll see that that cambium is the part that you really. Okay, now what we're gonna do, we've got this the way we want it. Now we want to get the tree the way we want it, so the two of them can go together. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure, because this is gonna go right here. So we're gonna mark a little bit right there. We're gonna measure our length also. Okay, there's our width. So that's the piece that we want. All right, now we're gonna pick that cambium open, pick that bark open. All right, now, so we're gonna slip that right down in there. And that is we're gonna tape that up in just a few minutes. So we're gonna make a couple of grafts on here. We do the same thing with another piece. Here, zoom in right here. We're gonna clip again. I think I'm in your shadow. Okay, right there. Get back to the green. Oh, that looks pretty good right there. Okay, but I'm gonna clip one little. Oh yeah, definitely that looks good. All right, now we'll go back there. We might get a couple of grafts off of this one. And this is that living tissue, and we collected this back before the tree, while the tree was dormant. And this tissue is still dormant because it's been maintained in the cold. And it's that warming up that stimulates the tree to start trying to grow again. I say, oh, it's spring, time to get growing again. Okay, and I'm in your shadow. Oh, now I just touched that graft, and that is not good, as I understand it. So we're shaving that down. All right, here again, we'll do the same thing again. Let's put one on this branch now. Okay. I'm gonna pick it open. All right, and we're gonna just slip that graft right in there. And hopefully, actually, I think I'm gonna put it this way. Okay. And we better do a couple more on that tree. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tape them up. Gonna put it all together. And so I'm gonna use this wax grafting tape. And this will not last forever, but it will last just about the right amount of time that it takes to get the graft established. We got to seal it up because the air will just dry this graft out, and we want that living tissue to stay nice and happy. Nice and living, right? Very important. Okay, so I'm going to go around a couple more times here and go a little bit further down this little stem we're grafting onto. Give it plenty of wrapping here. Now I'm going to take a little piece out. It's not sticky. The grafting tape is not sticky. It's more like ribbon. And if you kids were here doing this with me, you wouldn't be doing it with me. You'd be doing this. So I'm sorry that this is a coronavirus situation here.
Can I feel it?
certainly can, yeah.
Yeah, it's not very sticky at all.
All right, now what I'm gonna do is we're actually gonna wrap the graft, the scion as well, because we want it to stay
Nice and fresh and healthy.
Yep, fresh and healthy. And you can see that the grafting tape here is actually pretty, it's translucent. So it's gonna let some light through, and that light will help stimulate this little scion to grow. So we'll just keep coming up here to the top and then wrap the other. Fold that over, and then I'm gonna go right back around like that. All right, now we're gonna just tie it off several times so it doesn't come loose. Got something going there. All right, we're going to do the other 3 like that, and then we'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, it is cold and windy out here, but that's the way it's supposed to be. We have grafted this stuff. We put the 4 grafts on here now. Hopefully we'll get at least one of these to take, and we've wrapped them all up with the grafting tape, which was basically wax, little wax, nice and tight, because these are going to have to support the weight, and you can see they're pretty firm on there. And now what we got to do is seal it up, and we're going to use this stuff, tree wound pruning sealer. Last time I don't know what I used. It wasn't right though. It wasn't good, like my fingers or something. But so we're going to apply this all over on here, because the main goal here is to not have this dry out. The drying out would be the worst thing we can do to it right now. So we're gonna dab this on here. Get a little bit more, and this will degrade in the sun and eventually just wear off of here. We just want to apply that really nice and thick.
But hopefully by then it'll be
do the same
nice
thing,
starting to grow underneath the tape by the time it comes off.
Yep, that's the idea. Okay, and we're gonna go, let me come around this side.
So do we need to get the sticks?
What sticks?
The sticks that we've put on. Do you need to put the
Oh no, we want that, remember that translucent. That's a good question. So should we paint this wound stuff over the scions? And the answer is definitely no, because we want the scions to get some sunlight. That sunlight's going to help stimulate them to grow. All right, there we are now. Now the other thing I wanted to mention too is these scions are from our Asian variety. So, and this is a native persimmon, native to the southeast. I mean, they go from Texas, wrapping around the Gulf, coming east through Florida, all the way going northeast, probably to New Jersey, maybe further north than that. But definitely a native persimmon. Diospiros virginiana. But what we're putting on here is not the same variety. This is that Asian variety, Jiro, and so this will produce the Asian fruit, which I think is going to be really cool, because we're going to have this male, hopefully we'll have this male tree that's a native with these non-native fruits coming off of it. So one little branch off the side of it will have fruit and the rest of the tree won't. We'll see what happens. I don't know if this is going to work at all. If it doesn't work, that's okay. It doesn't have to work. The point is, this is how you do it. Now, normally if we wanted to do this, we could do it another way, and it might be a better way, and that is to just simply take and cut this off, cut the tree off right down here. Cut it right down here and graft these grafts on where we chopped it off. But that would be kind of ugly, so we're just not going to do it. We're going to see if this works. All right. Okay, we've got more scions here. I've cut and trimmed another one. This is nice green. I don't know if you can see that. Boy, this one looks really good. And you kids will recognize this tree out in front of Miss Koch's room. And I'm going to put this graft right here on this little branch right here. We've cut some other branches off, these lower branches that are going to be hard to mow around. And Pearl, I'm going to ask you to step down off of that stool because I can't reach that branch myself. All right, so same deal. We're going to cut. Okay, and measure again. There. Uh-oh. Kind of split on us there. But not sure what to do in that situation. I think I'm gonna have to cut it off some more. Cut that one off a little bit more. Oh boy, this is not good, y'all. It's gonna work out though.
The bark splitting?
Bark is kind of splitting, but
do you want to be on the stool?
just gonna clean up that edge a little bit.
Are you gonna use that for the...
Yeah, yep, we're gonna use that right there. I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit further. Okay. Let's see if our graft fits in there. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be nice. We'll do another one on the other side. Get a good look at this here. Okay, gonna trim it. Gonna trim that scion. Measure right here. All right.
There we go.
Pop it open.
So, do you just measure with the scion to see how long you need it?
Yep, fitting the scion to the, or fitting the, yep, that cut right there to the scion.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. Just like always doing this, again, this has got to be really, really tight. We want this to be really, really tight.
Because like you said earlier, it's not that sticky, so you need it to be nice and tight so it'll stay. And,
yeah, yep.
And for...
To pull it together.
Yeah.
go around several times here. Round and round and around here. Pull that right together.
Yeah. Why are you crying?
Okay. Now we'll go down the trunk here, down the stem. And then back up. And across and just kind of seal this thing up. Get that in there really well. The whole point here is to seal it from the dry air. That will definitely dry it out. And also a little bit of structure. Pull it together. Because if these do what we hope they'll do, they're going to start growing leaves. And when they grow leaves, they're going to be as like little sails out in the wind. And so when the wind blows, it's going to be pulling on this joint that we're making. Okay, so we're going to put the tree tar on this one. I did the scions here, did the grafting on this tree, and we're going to get that. Biggest part is that part right up in there, in between the two. All right, I'm going to come around the other side. I'm going to stand right here in this ant mound while I paint this thing. Does it look like I got it in there pretty well, Pearl?
I think so.
Okay, we'll do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll see if we can find another tree around the school here. What's that ant mound? If you get some good video of that ant mound, Pearl, you'll be able, that'll be good proof that you're at the school. Okay, I think we got it. Okay, so we're going to do one more grafting. This one's going to be a little bit different, so it'll be kind of interesting. But first, we're going to look at this loquat tree. See all the fruit on it? This is great. That's all going to swell up, and we'll get lots of loquat fruit. And those loquat, the seeds in those fruits are actually very fertile and easy to germinate. So you can just put them in the dirt in a warm spot, keep them a little bit wet, and they'll pop up. You get more fruit. But now, this is where we had all of it, so many trees. These are all native persimmons that we had planted. There was this patch over here, and these jokers are gonna keep trying to pop up. We're just gonna have to mow them down. But too many trees in one place, can't have that. Now, a lot of these have been planted out. Okay, so we had this native tree, one of the ones that was left over from the we had potted up so many little trees, and you can see that that's how big it was. That tree is way too big to be right up here beside the building. but this Asian variety will not be that big, so that'll be good. And also it gives room for this loquat. And if you walk over, you get a good look at the loquat. You can see the fruit on there. I have to grab a branch.
Nice big.
Nice delicious fruit.
Yeah.
We'll get those probably in a few weeks now. You can see now I've grafted onto here, and I'm going to continue to do that right here. Put another one on this side. It's possible that all of these will take. I would say unlikely, but all we need is one. All we really need is one to take. All right, now we've got that the way we want it. Wrap it up tight. And we're gonna wrap this really, really, really well.
And this tree is the persimmon tree. As you know, the loquat that we showed you, it's right next to the primary side, so.
Yep. We're kind of out behind the school.
Yeah.
Where we are right now. Now this one I think I have the most hope for, just because when you cut it off like that, the tree, this root stock here that we're grafting onto really wants to grow, and it's probably going to shoot some new growth out from underneath this graft, like down below it, further down below on the trunk. Some of the native stuff, foliage and all is going to try to come out. That's okay, we will just cut that off. And now we're just going to tie this off. I don't know if we might be able to tie it off again. Okay, so I think we've got that pretty well done. And we'll wrap up these individuals. Wrap up the scions, and then we'll go from there. Oop. Wrap it around onto itself. All right, that's pretty good. We'll come back in a few minutes. Okay, so Pearl's helping, of course, and she is wrapping that one little stem there, doing a great job. Of course, all you Montessori kids are smarter than the average bear, I think. You're lucky. All of you are lucky. You're lucky to be Montessori kids. All right, that's too much. You got to keep coming up. You're going to have too much tape on there. It is possible to get too much.
It is?
Yep.
Let's see.
All right, that's very good. Very good. Okay, we got this one finished. Got it all gooped up and tarred, and got 4 grafts on it. And like I said, I have the most hope for this one because this big tree is going to try to grow. And when it tries to grow, it's going to try to grow right through these little grafts. So we'll see what happens. Again, the whole point of this is to manipulate the trees so that you get what you want out of them. That is, in this case, fruit. And we'll hope for the best. All right, so we did the grafting. I wish you kids could have been here to do it with us. Hopefully you will at least see the results of the grafting, and I don't know, hopefully we'll get fruit.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in.